Hello fellow Hunters of the Blue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the first of a series of videos focused on the most basic aspects of the hobby. You might think that this video is not for you, but I encourage you to watch it. You might learn something new or pick a tool or trick you didn't know. In this first video we are going to focus on how to build plastic models, starting from the tools and focusing on technique and good practice. The next episode is going to be dedicated entirely to gap filling, and we will discuss all options and see what products will work best for you. But for today's videos, our focus is going to be the very first steps into the hobby. Learning new things is exciting and absolutely amazing. And what better way to learn new things than with today's video sponsor, Skillshare. Each time I have the honor to promote Skillshare, it makes me happy, so I'm over the moon to have them as my sponsor again today. Skillshare is a community full of passionate people passionate about teaching others and people passionate to learn new things. Skillshare is full of thousands of amazing classes in any topic you can think, like color theory, sculpting, photography, and video production. For example, have you ever wanted to learn to sculpt miniatures digitally? As a traditional sculptor, I surely have. Now you can with Create a Printable Miniature using ZBrush for Beginners by Yemi Court. This is an incredible in-depth lesson specifically designed for us miniature painters. Learn everything you need to know from configuring ZBrush to advanced techniques, textures, and detailing. On top of that, Skillshare now offers learning paths. Learning paths are a series of created classes designed to help you master a specific skill, like discover the art of science and drawing. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives. This summer, invest in yourself, starting a learning journey on Skillshare to explore your creativity and find new passions. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. So, thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get cracking. Let's start with the very basics. What's the absolute minimum amount of tools you need to build models? Well, in my opinion, it's this: a pair of clippers, a box cutter or X-Acto blade, and some plastic glue. With this you can build any plastic models in the market. You don't need anything else. There are nice things to have, but I'm going to concentrate now in the very minimum. Let's start with the clippers. I use these red grass clippers, which I really like. They are super thin and they produce a super nice clean cut. You can of course use something like this. These are some old clippers. They are awful in comparison, like absolute dreadful things, but they are very cheap and in a pinch they do the work. Talking about the blade, you will need some kind of cutting tool. I do like these Alpha box cutters. They are amazing if you ask me. They work extremely well, and they sell replacement blades. They are really nice to use, very simple, not expensive at all, and again, really nice, good quality. Anytime you can have some kind of X-Acto blade. I have this Citadel Tools one here. I don't particularly like this one, but you know, this general kind of X-Acto blade. I do like this scalpel. They are absolutely amazing. You can replace the blades very easily, just like that. And well, it's the simplest tool you can get. Nothing can go wrong here. The blades are really cheap. You can buy them super affordably, and they come in large packages, so you will probably never run out of them. They are extremely sharp out of the box, and you know, I like this number 3, and I really like this tool. Ideally, I like a combination of both my box cutter and my scalpel, but if I can only choose one, I will go with my box cutter. Talking about the glue, I highly recommend Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. I like this not because it's the best, it's really good, don't get me wrong, it is fantastic, but I like it because you can buy this jar here that comes with a nice extendable brush. And I say extendable because most people don't know this. Oops. But you can actually extend this middle section, this lower section here, when you are running out. So you have more brush. And this is fantastic to have. And then you can actually refill it using this, which is exactly the same product. Some Tamiya airbrush cleaner. And it has to be Tamiya. Can be any other brand. Only Tamiya airbrush cleaner works. I have a video about that. I will link it somewhere, probably, if I can't remember. I also like other brands and types of glue. For example, this Mr. Cement S is absolutely fantastic. It's really, really good. Probably in terms of just glue performance, I do like Mr. Cement better than Tamiya Extra Thin, but I haven't found a reliable refilling source. So for the beginners, this is actually a better deal. As I said, this is the Extra Thin, but you can also get the normal Tamiya cement, which is thicker. This is, you can see it here, it's more like more gel-like. I do like to have both, but if I could only have one, it would be the Extra Thin. Totally avoid something like super glue. This is Loctite. Avoid this for plastic models. I hate this. This will make your life worse and harder, and your models less solid. I do like the plastic glue because it actually welds the plastic together, creating a more solid joint. Today I'm going to build this model. This is an Ergol guy. I don't know the name, sorry, and I can't find it in the sprue. But with this, I will show you all you need to know and how to proceed. As you can see, I don't have the instructions. Well, you can't see that because it could be off screen, but I'm telling you, I don't have the instructions. And the thing is, you actually don't need them. There are some numbers here in the sprue, and for Games Workshop, if you go and follow the order of these numbers, that's the built-in order. So you can just go and follow all of these numbers around and build the model in that order, and you will get to a good result. But if you totally want to use instructions and you happen to not have them because you maybe bought this model off of eBay or you lost them or whatever, there is a really useful subreddit that I will link in the description where you can find instructions or ask for instructions for all GW models. They have an amazing repository, and just go ask kindly and someone will answer you with the corresponding instructions. So let's build this. And as I said, I don't have the instructions and I'm not going to go and grab them. I'm just going to build my model. So this is part number 1. It is this half of the body here. And the first thing you have to do is cut the models of the sprue. And to do that, you have to use this part of the cutters, the flat bit. Don't cut them through here because you are going to leave an ugly nub there. So place your flat bit just next to the model, just like that, and then just press, and you can see it was a super soft and gentle snap using these cutters. These are specifically designed for this purpose, for plastic models. As you can see, I am rotating my cutters around to just always using the flat bit. Just like that. And the final one is here. And now we have our first part. By the way, if you like these part trays that I designed, I always was running into the issue of, other trays just topping over and, not being stable and parts flinging around, and generally that happened. So I designed these ones to be 3D printable, stackable, and with the flared arches, it's really, really hard to make them tip all over, and they are also stackable on top of each other, like that. And I have them in 3 sizes. They are available in my Patreon. For the tier Men at Arms or above, I have a post about that. These are the 3 sizes that I have. The next thing to do is locate all of those sprue gates, you know, where the plastic, where the sprue and the piece were connected, like that one. And you will have to very carefully cut them off. That's why I do like this. If you've never used one of these box cutters, if you find that the first section is not sharp anymore, you can take this piece of the back, place it here, and just snap that section off. Just like that. Be careful with this piece, you can cut yourself, so put it in a safe place. And now you have a sharper beginning of the blade. Be very gentle, very careful. Don't do massive amount of force. A lot of people will tell you to cut away, and that's a good advice. I just find I don't have control, and I've more than once like cut a piece of the model with that. And if you're just gentle, you can just cut in this direction, but don't be too forceful, please. By using a really sharp blade, it actually makes your job easier and safer. The sharper the blade, the easier it is to cut, and thus the less dangerous, and because you have to do less force. Just like that. Now we need to take off our mold lines, and for this I use the box cutter. There are tools designed to, like for example, this old Citadel mold line remover is this kind of tool, and it works in the same way. You just rub it in a slight angle and it will scrape off the plastic that is raised, and thus removing the mold line. You can get one of these if you want, but you can just use your box cutter. In the same way, I'm just putting it in a slight angle towards me with the blade facing backwards, and I can just scrape that mold line. An advantage that this method has is that the tip is thinner and I can get into smaller spaces, because here the tip ends in a massive chunk. And if I really need precision, that's where my scalpel comes in, because this is super thin and I can get this into all of these small crevices just to remove mold lines with it. So let's remove all of the mold lines of this piece, and then we can find our second piece and start building our model. We have our four first pieces, 4 pieces going from number 1 to number 4, and they are all cleaned and ready to be assembled. And I don't know where they go, as I said, I don't have the instructions, but it's quite easy at this stage. Just figuring it out. This is obviously the back legs of the horse, and you can see they just slot here very, very well. What I like to do to glue them is hold them in position with my hands, and I just really carefully run my glue on the seam, just like that. Just like that. The glue will sip into the joint, just like that. It will press them a little bit harder to know that they are flush, and there you go. That's enough. I just need to leave this to dry, which will take a couple minutes. Let's do the same with the rest of the model. Don't worry if when you apply glue it gets into, other parts. This glue is really runny. It will just dry and not affect the model at all. It's not going to ruin your model or make it worse. Sometimes when you scrape the model, all of the mold lines, there is a little bit of a fluffy residue, and this ultra thin glue is really good to get rid of it. I just take my glue brush and I just brush it over all of those fluffy details, and they just melt away. There you go. Sometimes when you're building a model, you may have doubts of what the exact position of the piece is, and that's why it's very important to dry fit all of your pieces before committing to gluing them. For example, this arm, you can go up. It might go there, it might go there, but actually just by fiddling around with it, you will get to a position where it just locks and the piece feels really secure, and it feels like it belongs there. You can see there how sturdy and well placed that piece is. And now, once we are sure this is the correct position, we commit to gluing this. And as I apply the final pieces and the final touches, you can see that I've managed to build this whole really complex model without the use of instructions. Just following the numbers in the sprues, you will get there. I know it can be a little bit scary, and my recommendation is that you fetch for the instructions, but if you can't find them, don't stress too much, and look how awesome model we just built. I personally don't like to do sub-assemblies if I can get away with it, and in case of this model, my only sub-assembly is going to be not gluing the knight to the base. The rest is all in one piece, and I think I can paint it just fine. And with those simple steps, our model is finished and looking amazing. In this case, no gap filling is needed, and that is an incredible achievement on the amazing and talented GW sculptors. Modern plastic models are an incredible feat of engineering, and it's quite amazing how cleverly some of the models are designed so all the gaps are hidden. Of course, not all models can be designed like this, and gap filling is needed in some cases. For that, stay tuned to the next episode in the series coming very soon, where we will deep dive into everything gap filling. If you want to see me paint this beautiful model, join my Patreon, where I will paint him as part of a complete masterclass. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget that if you like my videos and want to help me make them, you can follow me on social media. You have the links to all my social media in the description below and the pinned comment of this video. Share and like this video, but most importantly, there is Patreon and channel members. Patreons and members allow me to do all the cool videos that I want to make, and most importantly, they allow me to release them all for free here on YouTube. Perks include access to an amazing Discord community full of lovely people, access to many more Patreon exclusive videos, and now also private one-on-one online tutorings. Help me and join the list of the coolest persons in the planet, including Lugubrious Cramhorn, Derek VW, Liram Shoham, Aredrus, John Michael Harkness, Soil Shiyafet, Lucky Beaver 90, Emilio Engix, 3Gs, Marco Paratzik, James Coplin, Rogelio Thomas, Geek Daddy, Jamie Decat, Steve Fane, Kitam Go, TTSS Productions, Jay Hoover, Minis by Ape, Will Harris, Benjamin, Emily Queen of Sloth, Nicholas Davis, Agon David, Pablo Cuesta, Benjamin Barbet, Pampion Hill, Chris Black, Mateus Babiuk, Andrei Michensko, Aaron Miller, Jake Staines, Stefan Zimmerman, Andrew Walden, Tom, Dr. Mike, Martin Reveroa, Shishwal, PJM, David Ridey, Matt Wallis, Robert McKillon, Mark Carter, Hendrik, Mansonian, Chester Rose, Matt Griffiths, Tyler Hughes, Chris Gilroy, Allman Gaming, Spacey Joe, Mark Watson, Hamish Donald, Matthew Lang, Iñigo García, Stavros, Shinji Wo, Maraguera, Romain, Ars Miniatura, Jars Rex, Joe Offut, Dr. Cathaber, and George Alexos Des, Giuseppe, Nicola Ancona, Rainer Hochberg, Mark Valencoop, Felix Franke, Aaron Bernstein, Daniel Ramin, Bowsy, Phil Wahlberg, Terry Denham, Plutch, Howard Hothville, Stephanie All, Michael Wakeman, Painting Peter, Stephen Rockford, Roger Nilsson, Oscar Jonathan Thomberg, Nin Nguyen, Dan Mako Kristalios, Bartos Badensky, Kevin Mian, Darcy Farrar, Natius Maximus, Arondel, Javi Mota, Eamon Patton, Alan Thaxton, Heather Anston, Mark Arkinson, Mark Jarvis, Fergal, Josh Simpson, Christoph Warren, G-Force, Dr. V, Bartolomeu Cahuza, Lena Lindemann, Kieran Multher, Andrew Dyer, and Kevin Sullers. And as for me, I will catch you in the next one. Bye!